Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
And we start with late-breaking news this noon. The Texas Supreme Court has ruled to temporarily block Bexar County's mask mandate.
Governor Greg Abbott and State Attorney General Ken Paxton filed an emergency motion to the court on Tuesday seeking a stay on that injunction that allowed Bexar County's mask mandate to move forward.
The court granted the stay, but has not yet ruled on the state's request to permanently lift the injunction as this case moves its way through the courts. The state's lawyers say the Bexar County mandate breaches on the governor's authority and it adds to public confusion on masks.
Lawyers for the county have argued the governor's executive orders banning mask mandates violate the Texas Health and Safety Code, which allows local health officials to enact mandates for public health reasons.
Now to the latest on this morning's dramatic events in Afghanistan. The Pentagon confirming 2 explosions outside the Kabul airport.
At least 3 U.S. service members were hurt. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze reports this comes as the U.S. Embassy in Kabul warned Americans not to go to the airport, citing a terror threat.
Amid heightened terror threats in Afghanistan, 2 explosions outside the Kabul airport. A source telling ABC News one was a suicide attack followed by gunfire outside one of the gates at the airport. The other at or near the Barron Hotel near that same gate. It's unclear who fired on who. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby says casualties are unclear at this time. President Biden has been briefed on the situation. The explosion comes after the U.S. Embassy in Kabul told Americans at the airport gates Wednesday night to leave immediately and to be aware of your surroundings at all times, especially in large crowds, because of fears of an ISIS-affiliated attack.
Being part of these huge crowds that remain around the gates and entrances to the airport is dangerous. We're obviously concerned about our own people as well.
The acting U.S. ambassador to Afghanistan telling GMA Americans will be evacuated on an individualized basis. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says as many as 1,500 American citizens could still be in Afghanistan and insists those who want to leave will be able to.
There is no deadline on our work to help any remaining American citizens who decide they want to leave to do so, along with the many Afghans who have stood by us over these many years.
But it's unclear how Americans or Afghan allies will be evacuated after U.S. forces leave August 31st. Thousands of Afghans who helped the U.S. and their families are now facing that grim reality that they'll be left behind. A woman who worked on a U.S. mission sending this message to ABC News.
They will leave us behind, and I don't think anybody will come for helping us.
The U.S. Embassy says all of its diplomats in Kabul are safe and accounted for. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, we have an update on a north side crash. Police say both drivers involved were intoxicated and will now face charges. According to officers, they received calls about a wrong-way driver on the north side early this morning around 1:30. That driver crashed head-on with another driver near Wurzbach Parkway and Buzzy Way. Police say the wrong-way driver was trapped in his car. Meanwhile, the other driver jumped out of their truck and ran away from the scene. Officers found him near Heroes Stadium. Both drivers were hurt but should be okay. Police say the drivers were evaluated for DWI and both were intoxicated. Officers also tell us the driver of the truck will face additional charges because he did not stop to help the other driver. Police say that person also had marijuana and an active warrant in another county.
San Antonio police say a woman's car became the scene of a crime, the place where a person shot her. They're still trying to answer a lot of questions surrounding that shooting, which happened in a parking lot on the northeast side in the 4800 block of Raybon Drive. As Katrina Weber reports, that includes finding out who did the shooting.
Trouble came without warning for a woman sitting in her car at the Cottage Creek Apartments. She told San Antonio police a man dressed all in black walked up to her in the parking lot in the 4800 block of Raybon Drive and started shooting. When officers found her around 9:30 last night, they say the 37-year-old was in critical condition with gunshot wounds in her shoulder and upper body. She was rushed to a hospital. The shooter, who's in his 20s, took off in a hurry too. Police searched the area for someone matching his description but did not find him. Neighbors told us off camera that they saw the commotion, police cars everywhere. Investigators focused a lot of attention on the woman's car, looking for evidence and answers. Police say the victim doesn't live here, and she told them she doesn't know the man who shot her or why he did it. So far, police have not made any arrests. Reporting from the northeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And we have new details about a deadly crash on the northwest side. Police say a woman was not wearing a seatbelt when she rolled her car. The crash happened just after midnight on the I-10 access road near Vance Jackson and West Avenue. Police say for some reason the driver lost control, jumped the curb, then drove through a concrete barrier. The impact caused the car to roll over. It came to a stop upside down on top of a drainage grate in the grass. First responders pulled the woman from the car. However, they were not able to save her. She died at the scene. The medical examiner's office has not released her identity yet.
Local school we're going to live cam. We're going to take a look outside. More clouds today, but not more clouds producing more rain.
Not yet, anyway. We're still hoping for some rain as we get into the afternoon. Some of those clouds will start to build up, and we should see some showers and maybe a couple thunderstorms on the radar. The other big story today is going to be what's going on in the Caribbean. We have the latest now, what is happening with Tropical Depression 9, newly formed Tropical Depression 9. Winds at 35 miles per hour. This is in sort of the beginning stages here of development, but we do think that this will become a hurricane down the line, and the Hurricane Center has started issuing advisories on it. There it is right there, just around the island of Jamaica, moving towards the Cayman Islands. It is expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico, become a Category 1 hurricane, and strengthen potentially a little bit as it moves north. Anywhere from Houston over to Mobile, Alabama, needs to keep close watch on this. It does look like any effects would be well east of us, but this will cause some problems along the Gulf Coast. Winds could go as high as maybe even 100 miles per hour in some cases, depending on how much it strengthens and then moves inland. We think this will be over the weekend. By Monday morning, this is moving inland over parts of Louisiana, producing some rain there, and then eventually weakening as it moves north. For us, for today, 30% chance of rain, 5 p.m. Through about 7 p.m. We've seen a little bit of activity on the radar. We'll take a look at the radar coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Local school districts continuing to review their policies as the new school year gets underway during the pandemic. And now the Board of Trustees at Schertz-Cibolo Universal City ISD say that it will strongly recommend the use of face masks and other protective measures for students and staff. However, right now, it will not require the use of face masks. That decision came during a meeting last night. The board says it reviewed up-to-date district data on the spread of COVID and the results from recent surveys sent out to parents and staff. More than 7,600 parents filled out that survey. Most of them were in favor of a mask mandate. The results similar among the staff as well.
Cases of COVID-19 surging across much of the country, and hospitals are starting to fill up. More than 100,000 people currently hospitalized with COVID-19, most of them unvaccinated.
A little more than 60% of Americans are fully vaccinated, and health experts continue to encourage everyone to roll up their sleeves. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky with details.
Cases of COVID-19 continue to surge across much of the country. Florida is reporting more than 26,000 cases on Wednesday, the state's highest daily number since the pandemic began. There are now more than 100,000 people hospitalized with COVID-19, the highest number in 7 months, according to the CDC.
Every single one of those, or almost every single one of those, is preventable with a vaccine. We've got to do better on that.
At UTMB's Jeannie Seeley Hospital in Galveston, Texas, the COVID ward is full. Nearly all the patients in the ICU are on ventilators.
It's very chaotic because these patients are very unpredictable. At one moment they look great, and the next moment they're dying.
All but one patient unvaccinated, frustrating healthcare workers.
We all got vaccines when we were young kids, and this is a vaccine that could have at least kept them out of the hospital.
In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Nikki Collins has been hospitalized for a month. She's also unvaccinated.
I've always been anti-vaccine. I'm more of a natural health person. I have trust in my immune system. This has made me question that.
Just over 60% of Americans over the age of 12 are fully vaccinated, and now there's talk of potential booster shots. Experts recommend waiting until 8 months after you're fully vaccinated to get a booster shot. For most people, the vaccine doesn't suddenly stop working. Rather, its effectiveness slowly fades.
The booster vaccine is intended to be a reminder of the immune system.
The CDC Advisory Board says it will meet publicly next week to discuss official booster shot recommendations. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
The excitement is in the air. It is the kickoff of big game coverage tonight, and there are some awesome matchups to get the season started. Larry Ramirez with the look at tonight's action coming up. Hunger Action Month kicking off in less than a week. It's also when we will be live streaming a KSAT community town hall. The goal is to help fight hunger here in San Antonio. Max Massey and Sarah Costa will be your hosts, and they'll be joined by San Antonio Food Bank CEO Eric Cooper, along with experts on food insecurity here in Bexar County. We also want to hear from you. If you have any questions about food insecurity, you can submit those now on our website, ksat.com. The town hall will be Wednesday, September 1st at 2 p.m. It'll be on our website and the KSAT streaming app.
Live cam showing us a murky day again. Already, is that right? 91 degrees?
Yeah, same boat we've been in the last couple days. My hope, though, is that some of us get a downpour this afternoon. That possibility is here. We're starting to see a few things percolate on the radar. We'll show you that in just a second. First, let's look at the aquifer, down 0.3 of a foot to 659 even. We could use some rain at this point. And looking at pollen counts, just molds again today. They're low at 430. A look at the radar plus another tropical update coming up.
This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar News. Moderna announced they've completed their submission to the FDA for full approval of their 2-dose COVID-19 vaccine. They aim to be the second COVID vaccine fully approved by the FDA, that following Pfizer and BioNTech's approval on Monday. And speaking of Pfizer and BioNTech, the companies have begun submitting data for full FDA approval for their third booster dose of their vaccine. Meanwhile, Apple is currently testing an upgraded iPhone 13 feature. This would allow users to unlock their phones with Face ID while wearing a face mask or even foggy glasses. Apple leaker John Prosser reports that Apple has provided prototypes for some of their employees to test and has had them use Face ID while wearing masks or foggy glasses. And Blue Origin is ready for liftoff once again. The upcoming launch of the New Shepard rocket will be an uncrewed mission, and this is the first since Jeff Bezos reached space last month. The mission will contain 18 commercial payloads, 11 of which are NASA-sponsored, but that's not all. Postcards submitted by kids via Blue Origin's nonprofit club will also be featured and headed to space. And that's your Cheddar News Business and Tech Update. I'm Baker Machado, coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
We're getting ready for high school football tonight. And RJ, we're at the football stadium, Alamo Stadium, and we walked out onto the turf. Woo! I don't know how those kids do it because it's already hot on the turf and it's not even 5, 6 o'clock yet. So
I know. It's usually brutal at this time of the year, or it's raining.
Yeah. David was sweating this morning. I saw him. And he didn't even do much work.
But we might get some showers this afternoon, right?
That's the hope, some cooling showers. Of course, football players are saying, no lightning, please. We don't want to interrupt any of the games. It'll be some hit or miss stuff. We do need to watch the radar this afternoon. And you look at the situation right now, you can see where that activity is out there in the Gulf of Mexico. And then moving into Texas, some more unsettled weather. Some of these clouds trying to bubble up now into some showers and storms. We're not seeing much here around San Antonio. But you zoom in a little bit closer here, there is a little bit of activity that tried to sneak into northern Blanco County there. That's moving south and west. And these clouds you see to the east, they likely will, at least a few of them, bubble up into a shower, thunderstorm, maybe a downpour. If you're lucky enough to get underneath one of these downpours, you could pick up a quick 1/4 inch of rain. But it's just going to be a matter of whether or not it moves over your house, because it will be hit or miss today, about a 30% chance of rain. Here's a look at the forecast, and you see some of these isolated showers and storms popping up. And then as we go into tomorrow morning, this model wants to produce some rain right along the coast. That's possible. Some of that deeper moisture works in, and then that'll stream in inland, and we'll see the potential again for some more isolated showers and storms tomorrow. As we look outside right now, we've got partly cloudy skies, 91 at the airport, so things are warming up quickly. We do think we'll be in the mid-90s today with east-southeasterly winds at 8. It feels like 97 already. Dew point is at 70, and at least that's a little bit lower than what we've been seeing last few days, but it's still sticky out there. 88 Port Verde, 92 in New Braunfels, 91 Bandera, 92 right now in Devine, 93 down there in Cotulla. Almost everybody's in the 90s at this point, and the heat index, as you might imagine, closing in on 100. Already above that mark in Victoria, but 98 is what it feels like in Gonzales, 95 in Hondo, 97 is what it feels like in Cotulla at this hour. And heat index values should go as high as the low 100s, I think, here in town. 102 Pleasanton, 102 in Carrizo Springs. And basically the same thing we've seen last several days. Okay, we talked about it earlier, but here's Tropical Depression number 9. We're out in the Caribbean here, and this still looks a little disorganized, but a lot better than it did this morning. So this thing's probably going to organize pretty quickly as it moves off to the north and west. And the latest track here from the Hurricane Center takes us into the Gulf of Mexico as a Category 1 hurricane. This would be Saturday evening. Winds potentially at 90 miles per hour. By the time we get into Sunday morning, this thing is closing in on the Gulf Coast. Potentially Category 2 storm. I wouldn't be surprised if it was even a little stronger than that. It's not going to have a whole lot of time, but the waters are warm. Then it moves north into anywhere from Houston over towards Mobile, Alabama. Louisiana is kind of in the crosshairs here. If you're in this cone of uncertainty, you're going to want to watch this very closely. It looks like all of the effects would be well east of us at this point. The models have come into agreement on that idea, and then it moves north, producing heavy rain as it does. I want to show you the water temperatures. They're in the 80s, upper 80s in some cases. So there's a lot of fuel out there for this to gain some strength, as I mentioned. Again, Hurricane Center is thinking Category 2. That would be winds 96 to 110 miles per hour. We'll see how this plays out, but storm surge, winds, heavy rain, all in play there. For us, 30% chance of rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll drop off those rain chances just a little bit. We'll stay on the dry side of things, and that'll keep temperatures pretty toasty. 94 Sunday, 96 Monday, and upper 90s next week, guys.
And the tropical depression could be named Ida.
It would be named Ida, yes. If it will get named, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Justin.
For the average sports fan, this is the best time of year right here. We've hit it.
Pretty darn good.
And for the junkies, they're out of their minds.
Oh, they're like, yeah. Yes. Hey, it is BGC Thursday. The regular season kicks off tonight. One of the games we have, Brandeis and O'Connor. It's called the Crush Bowl or the Water Bowl, just depending on who you're talking to. Plus, we also will be streaming some games tonight on the BGC app. We have those details coming up. Quick feet will be on display tonight all around South Texas because week 1 of the 2021 high school football season kicks off tonight with multiple games, including O'Connor and Brandeis, two former district rivals, but still rivals due to how close the two schools are located. Brandeis calls this the Crush Game, while O'Connor dubbed it the Water Bowl. Now, they didn't get to square off last season due to COVID-19 canceling the contest. The Panthers went 4-5 last season, while the Broncos went 7-3, but none of that matters tonight because it's a brand new season, and both sides want to open up with a win and get year-long bragging rights.
I think it gives us a great, it's awesome being able to play them first game, you know, because they're a good team, and having that experience under our belt after this game would be good for us in the regular season.
The best way to get my senior season going, you know, me and the boys that we've grown up with, this is a big thing that we've been waiting for a long time, and now we finally get to play it, you know. It's a great thing, and obviously, you know, we're going to love the fans, the family, and the crowd and all that stuff, but we're really focused on our team and what we can do.
Absolutely. I feel like that if we start the season off with some good teams, it'll prepare us faster for the rest of the season and down the road when we make our playoff run.
I mean, this game is everything we look forward to in the season. I mean, of course, it's not a district game. It's the first game of the year, but the rivalry is something special, and it's something we all look forward to every year. So getting the chance to play them is great.
It is something special. Here is our BGC schedule tonight. You have O'Connor and Brandeis, Ferris Stadium at 7. Then Clark versus Harlan at Gustafson Stadium at 7 p.m. Moving on, you have Fredericksburg versus Sam Houston, Alamo Stadium tonight at 7. Pearsall versus Burbank at SAISD Sports Complex at 7 tonight. And some more games, Madison, Clemens, Linhoff Stadium, 7 p.m. You can also watch that on MeTV. Then you have Del Rio versus SA Veterans Memorial, Rutledge Stadium, 7 o'clock tonight. How about a couple more games? Brownsville Lopez playing Southside down at Buccaneer Stadium in Corpus at 7. And then you have Santa Gertrudis Academy versus South Stand West Campus at 7. And our last game on our schedule is Bernie Geneva versus Holy Cross, 7:45 tonight at Holy Cross, because they now have lights at their stadium. Tonight also marks our first live broadcast with our new partnership with Texas Sports Productions. It's our KSAT MeTV TSP Game of the Week featuring the Madison Mavericks and Clemens Buffaloes at Lynn-Hoff Stadium. And you can see it live from start to finish on over-the-air 12.2 station. And in fact, every game that Texas Sports Productions broadcasts tonight, you can see it live on our BGC app while you're at the game and at biggamecoverage.com. And then highlights from all the games later on our website after you get home. So we have 3 games streaming tonight on a KSAT 12 Big Game Coverage app: Clark and Harlan, Del Rio and SA Veterans Memorial, and Connor versus Brandeis, O'Connor, I should say. Tomorrow night you can catch 9 different games. The schedule is on the screen if y'all could switch over to that video. Then on Saturday we have 2 games as part of our streaming schedule: Laredo LBJ versus Jay and MacArthur versus Marshall. These streams are free of charge, and all you have to do is download the KSAT BGC app, sign up for the BGC Insider page, and you're good to go. If you're already a member, you just need to sign in, right? So just click on the game you want to watch, stream it live, courtesy of Texas Sports Productions and KSAT 12. Ooh, that's busy.
If you love high school football, then we're your supplier.
Yeah, you can be at a game and say you have some family member playing another game, just put it on the stream.
All right, Larry, thanks. Appreciate it.
We have an update coming in from Afghanistan on American military casualties now. Let's go to ABC Live.
There was a second explosion. That additional explosion happened near the Barron Hotel, not far from the airport. The U.S. has been warning of a potential attack like this for several days now. They were concerned about ISIS-K, an ISIS affiliate there in Afghanistan, a sworn enemy of the Taliban as well. No group has claimed responsibility as of yet. The U.S. had been controlling the airport, Taliban fighters controlling the perimeter outside the airport. President Biden, for much of this day, in the Situation Room at the White House this morning, now in the Oval, he had repeatedly said that there was great risk in this mission, that this was a dangerous mission, which is why he continued to say the goal for his administration was that August 31st deadline. Amid growing pressure from some leaders around the world, some of our allies, to
Welcome back to our local coverage. Just to recap for a moment, ABC News breaking in because we are now confirmed casualties. We're now confirming casualties of U.S. military in Afghanistan at the Kabul airport.
Yeah, ABC not giving us any specific numbers. They're saying that they're going to wait for the Pentagon to give them specific numbers, but they do understand that there have been several U.S. service members killed and there have been several injured in two separate bombings right outside of the Kabul airport. One is near one of the gates there at the airport, another one near a hotel there at the airport. This happening overnight, a little before 9 our time here in San Antonio is when those explosions actually happened at that airport in Kabul.
If you're following KSAT.com, we are reporting on our website that Russia's foreign ministry is now saying that at least 13 people have died, 15 wounded. But again, a Pentagon spokesperson confirmed a number of military casualties, but would not give a number just yet. We're hearing anything from 4 to 6. So in any event, we're on standby for those numbers. We're going to continue to follow this story.
We have not had any reaction from the White House as of yet. Not anything. Have not heard anything from President Biden. As soon as we do, we will bring that to you. Of course, ABC will, of course, break in and bring you any update from the White House. Anything that the president has to tell America, we will carry that for you live.
We'll have more news on the News at Noon coming up after this.
When it comes to children, COVID-19 is affecting some age groups more than others. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the highest rate of infection last week was among 16 and 17-year-olds. That's a shift from the past month where 18 to 29-year-olds accounted for the highest rate. 12 to 15-year-olds and people in their 30s showed rates just slightly lower than 16 to 17-year-olds. Adults 75 and older reported the lowest rate. Overall, 18 to 29-year-olds still make up the largest share of COVID infections, with 6.7 million since the pandemic began.
The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose for the first time in 5 weeks. That's despite the economy and job market recovering quickly from the pandemic. The Labor Department reporting today that jobless claims edged to 353,000. Up from 349,000 a week earlier. The weekly count has fallen more or less steadily since topping 900,000 in early January. COVID-19 vaccines have helped the economy, encouraging businesses to reopen or expand their hours. The rise in unemployment claims comes as millions of Americans prepare to lose federal pandemic unemployment benefits. They are set to expire in less than 2 weeks.
Outside with live camps already coming up on the mid-90s, and we're not even at 1 o'clock yet. Ooh, dog, here we go again.
Yeah, we saw a lot of sun this morning. It pushed temperatures up pretty quickly. My hope, though, is that maybe temperatures come down a little bit if we can get a shower or two to pop up. And we're seeing that on radar. Some showers and a few storms out there already. A lot of it's to the north of San Antonio. We're seeing some stuff along the coast as well. Let's look at the radar very quickly, and you can see where the action is. North and east of Gonzales, we've seen some activity up in Blanco County, and then a few showers there along the coast. A little closer look at that activity. North of San Antonio, that is moving west and to the south and west. We should see more pop up through the afternoon. We're going to have a full weather for you. A look at the tropics, too, coming up in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Let's take another look at the radar we showed you right before the break. There are some showers and even a couple thunderstorms out there. We've detected a few lightning strikes. This activity is starting to move into Fredericksburg, generally pretty light. But I think we'll see some more of these showers and storms popping up here and there. Another little batch of rain just to the north of I-10, north and east of Gonzales. And the clouds trying to thicken up a little bit in spots, seeing some showers and storms along the coast as well. This looks like an outflow boundary that moves west. That may help to kick off some showers and storms too. Here's what our forecast is showing. Isolated activity around 6 o'clock. Even here in San Antonio, possibility is there. Tomorrow morning, some showers and storms along the coast, and then some of that spreads inland. And we'll get more activity tomorrow afternoon. Rain chances sit at about 30%, no better than that. And as we look at the rain chances today, 2, 3 o'clock, that's when we start to up our rain chances a little bit. And I'd say it goes through about 7, 8 o'clock before the rain chances fall off tonight. There's the scene outside, and it is hot. 91 at the airport, 93 Stinson. We're a little ahead of schedule here with this heat. So we need some clouds. We need some rain to cool us down. Winds out of the east-southeast at about 8 miles per hour. And you see some of the clouds out there at this hour starting to thicken up a little bit. 92 New Braunfels, 90 in Seguin, 86 Bernie Stage, 91 Kennedy, 93 in Gonzales. More clouds for the eastern half of the viewing area versus the west, which is seeing a lot of sun, and that's pushing temperatures up to 93 there in Del Rio. Heat index values up above 100 in places like Pleasanton, Gonzales, LaGrange. Heat index is 107 at this hour. So we're still baking, and the forecast, by the way, keeps this heat in place through next week. Now that we know the tropical moisture is going to stay well to our east, and I'll show you that in just a second. But looks like we're going to be on the dry side of things. 96 degrees today, 30% chance of rain, as we talked about. Here's a look at tropical depression number 9. This is what we've been watching so very closely out in the Caribbean, and it's starting to get organized now. Winds are at 35 miles per hour, gusting to 45. Hurricane Center has the center of circulation somewhere in here. So it's still a little lopsided, but as it moves into the Gulf, it will get more organized. We think a Category 1 storm by Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, winds at 90 miles per hour, and then moving north towards Louisiana. It appears as a Category 2 storm. Potentially, I could see it going even a little bit stronger than that, depending on how quick it moves. And there's a lot of warm waters, a lot of energy for this storm to work with. And then by Monday morning, this is inland. Notice the cone that takes us anywhere from Houston to Mobile, Alabama. So this is sort of the corridor here where we need to watch very closely. And even this could shift a little bit. But I think that South Texas is sort of out of the line, out of danger here, so to speak, with this probably staying well to our east. We're going to keep rain chances out of the picture for that reason, or at least low rain chances Sunday through Monday. In the meantime, about a 30% chance of some showers and storms Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Temperatures stay in the mid-90s. Then on the back side of that system, we'll see some warmer numbers, 96, perhaps 97 by the middle part of next week. And by the way, if that system gets named, and it will become Ida. We'll be right back.
Shooting guard Bryn Forbes is officially back with the Spurs. The team sent an email yesterday afternoon to announce the signing. Forbes spent the first 4 years of his NBA career with the Silver and Black before leaving last season for the Bucks, where he won an NBA championship. In his lone year in Milwaukee, he averaged 10 points per game. Forbes is happy to be back in SA and ready to get to work.
This is like my second home. You know, it feels great to be back, and you know, in the organization I started with and learned a lot from, and part of what helped me grow in so many ways, not just basketball, but in life. I'm just excited to get back to it and get back to work with these guys and you know, try and do some good stuff.
Forbes was one of 3 players in the league to make more than 153 pointers while shooting at least 45% last season. He will wear number 7 for the Spurs. High school football kicks off tonight. We have 3 streaming games on the KSAT 12 Big Game Coverage app. Clark and Harlan, Del Rio and SA Veterans Memorial, and a big matchup between O'Connor and Brandeis. What a rivalry that is. Tomorrow night you can catch 9 different games, and on Saturday we have 2 more games as part of our streaming schedule thanks to our partnership with Texas Sports Productions. These streams are free of charge, and all you have to do is download the KSAT BGC app, sign up for the BGC Insider page, and you're good to go. If you're already a member, you won't need to sign up. Just click on the game you want to watch and stream it live, courtesy of Texas Sports Productions and KSAT 12.
Real quick, you brought that up earlier, that you could have one game on the app and be sitting and watching another game live. So you could watch 2 games.
I love that.
And if your friend's got another, you could, wow.
Yeah, you get everybody in a line and just stream all the games.
And you know what's the best part? It's free. How many free things are there in this world?
Free things are always good.
Like that. All right, Larry, thanks.
We're going to head over to SA Live, which is also free.